Today, 30th January 1948. 30th January 1948 was the day when Gandhi Bapu was killed. When Mahatma Gandhi was shot thrice. In the land of Delhi, heart of my nation. बहुत सारी हलचल मची हुई है वहाँ पे now too. So I'm gonna read an account of what took place that particular day, where Bapu was, account of his day, what he did on 30th January 1948 before getting shot thrice and dying. This is gonna be an emotional journey. I've read this couple of times, but so this passage is titled "In Lord Ram Merges the Mahatma." In Lord Ram merges the Mahatma. Friday, 30th January 1948. Barrister, servant of society, relentless tailor for the freedom of his people, non-violent crusader for amity and peace, and pillars of the Indian National Congress. Gandhiji had been working on a draft revised constitution for the party almost ceaselessly. The work had left the frail man of 110 pounds with indomitable will and energy of Titan. Severely exhausted, on 29th January 1948, he had told his associates, "I'm very tired, yet I must finish this task." He dictated, wrote carefully and precisely, and corrected meticulously his ideas on what the Congress should do. The major points he made for the party's program in the post-independence phase were the Congress as a propaganda vehicle and parliamentary machine has outlived its use. India has to attain social, economic, and moral independence in terms of its 700,000 villages. The Congress must keep out of unhealthy competitions which these political parties and communal bodies. The AICC therefore resolved to disband the existing Congress organization and to make it flower into Lok Sevak Sangh with rules and powers to alter them as occasion may demand. Bapu advocated the formation of village panchayats for 5 adult members in each village, 2 continuous panchayats were to form a working party with the leader elected from among themselves. On 100 panchayats were to elect 50 first grade leaders from among themselves. Such groups of panchayats would be formed to cover the whole of India. Every worker for the development of the nation was to wear khadi made from self spun yarn or from yarn certified by All India Spinners Association and be a teetotaler. If a Hindu, he or she would have abjured untouchability and be a believer in intercommunal unity and equal respect and regard for all religions with equality of opportunity and status for everyone, irrespective of race or creed or sex. Constructive workers of the Lok Sevak Sangh had to keep in constant touch with villagers and train more and more workers. The workers would organize the villages to become self-sufficient and self-supporting through agriculture and handicrafts. They would instruct villagers in protecting their health through good sanitation practices. The education of villagers would be carried out on the principle of Nai Talim. Villagers would be encouraged invariably to register themselves as voters. Nai Talim was the education system. The approach to the education system was something Gandhi Bapu was working on. The Lok Sevak Sangh would incorporate within itself the Spinners Association, the Village Industries Association, the Hindustani Talimi Sangh, the Harijan Sevak Sangh, and the Go Sevak Sangh. For its finances, the Sangh would raise donation which special stress laid on collection of the poor man's पाइस समझ रहे हैं इनको कॉरपोरेट के बड़े बड़े सपोर्ट नहीं चाहिए ही नहीं जो गरीबों से जमा हुए पैसे हैं ना उससे करना चाहते एक एक दो रुपए वाले डोनेशन में जैसे कि क्राउड फंडिंग निर्भर नहीं है किसी महान व्यक्तियों के उपकारों पे समझ रहे हैं ना आप ओके At 9:15 that Thursday, just before he retired to bed, Bapu told Manu Gandhi, his granddaughter and almost constant attendant, that he was not entirely at peace. However, the cavalance of life with its manifold scenes of actions still fascinated the man of 79. The Mahatma recited to Manu a couplet in Urdu which said, Spring in the garden of the world lasts but for few days. Gaze upon the beautiful show for a short while. Spring in the garden of the world lasts but for few days. gaze upon the beautiful show for the short while, like a mortal life. It's like the artistic soul of individual can touch something that's in the future. And I think these lines, God knows. How sad of me to be even. Oh God. Friday, January the 30th, began on the calendar from midnight hour. Gandhiji's working schedule had him out of bed. Just over 3 hours later, he completed his morning preparations, composed his troubled mind, and said his morning prayer. There were many letters to be dictated as usual. Manu took dictation to Anand Hindgorani and Gangiben. Secretary Bisen wrote on the Mahatma's behalf, Bapu is going to Sevagram, but only for 10 days. So Bapu says, there is no need for Gangiben to come. Yes, when he goes there for a long stay, she may come. After his dictation duties, Bapu took a brief nap. Then he had his naturopathy massage. As he completed it, he asked Pyarelal if the correction he had made in the draft of new constitution for the Congress had been completed. He directed the secretary to prepare a note on the food crisis that was threatening Madras province. Corrected by Bapu, they said Inter-Allied the food ministry is feeling nervous. But I maintain that province like Madras that is blessed by nature with coconut and palm, groundnut and banana is such plenty. Not to mention roots and tubers of various kinds need not starve. If not, the people knows how to okay. If only the people know how to husband their resources in food. These remarks were to be published in the Harijan issue of February the 15th after Valentine's Day. Gandhiji discussed with Pyarelal, who had come from Noakhali, the situation there. The latter believed that the solution was for the minorities to come out of East Pakistan in an orderly evacuation. Bapu demurred. He felt that the Hindus and the others had to stay put, adopting the principle of do or die, which he himself had been following to restore Delhi and the north of India to sanity. Bapu said, maybe in the end only a few will be left, but there is no other way of evolving strength out of weakness. Are not remarked of the people decimated in wars with weapons too? How then can it be otherwise under conditions of non-violence? What you, the Indian peace worker in Noakhali, are doing in the right way. You have shed the fear of death and established yourself in hearts and affection of the people. Gandhiji had his bath soon after the sun had risen enough to be visible over the lower rooftops. It was a cold day. The bath seemed to restore some of his vigor after his sustained exertions on the new draft Congress constitution. The clock struck 9:30. Bapu did his daily stints of writing regarding words in the Bengali language. Then it was a time for him to take his frugal morning's meal: raw and cooked vegetable, oranges, some goat's milk, and drink made of ginger and lemon juice. Parallel now brought to him the draft, and again Bapu made some corrections. Later he handed over the corrected sheet of Acharya Jugal Kishore. The sun was dropping from the meridian by the time the morning's work was attended to. Bapu treated himself to a short nap, something which he had not been able to take for many days on end. He was not able to take naps. He was not able to take rest. 4 o'clock in the evening. The sun has gone pale, and the skies were already gathering the destined evening's pale of premature gloom. Sardar Patel came with his sister Mani Ben to call on Mahatma. Gandhiji listened to his views and then gave his own considered advice. The Mahatma felt that disagreement between Nehru and Patel would cost India dear. He said that through earlier he had thought of solution of one or the then other than writing from the cabinet. He had subsequently revised his opinion. The presence of both of you at the helm is indispensable, he told the Sardar, and promised that he would touch on his important topic in this post prayer speech later in the evening. If necessary, he added that he would even postpone his visit to Sevagram till the disunity between the two leaders is in cabinet was satisfactorily scotched. Gandhiji's talk with Sardar Patel had delayed him for the evening prayer meeting, which was scheduled to begin at 5 o'clock sharp. A gathering of over 1,000 persons waited there, among them one who would enter the pages of the history with the dark deed of blood within minutes. Gandhiji told the Sardar, "Now I must tear myself away." Leaning on the shoulders of Abha and Manu, Bapu walked towards the dais from where he would listed the devotionals and deliver his speech. To make for quicker access to the platform, he cut across the stretch of the meticulously manicured lawn of the Birla house. The crowd parted to make way for him and his attendants. Abha remarked lightly to Gandhiji that watch dangling from the waist was bound to feel neglected, as he would not look at it at all. Entering on his turn, the Mahatma said, "Why should I, since you two are my timekeepers?" As he extended the rise to approach the days, he told the two girls, "It is your fault that I am 10 minutes late. It is the duty of nurse to carry their work even if God Himself should be present there. If it is a time to give medicine to a patient and a nurse feel hesitant to do so, the poor patient will die. So it is with the medicine of prayer. It irks me if I am late for a prayer even a minute." The last conversational remark had been made. The very last steps Bapu would take. The very last steps Bapu would take were now being taken. Past the steps, he was now coming towards the dais. Gandhiji took his arms from the shoulders of Abha and Manu to fold his hand, acknowledged with his benign smile, ever shining from behind his wire framed glasses. The, the namaskaras many offered to him. Now, with namaskar that was like Judas' kiss. There came a thick-skinned man clad in bush shirt with hands folded. He approached Gandhiji frontally. As the man bowed, Manu tried to dissuade him from touching Bapu's feet, as she thought he was trying to do. The strong man pushed her away brusquely, impatiently. He wanted a clear line of fire. For breath pistol he had drawn from a trouser pocket. Now there rang out of 3 shots in quick succession, even from a child they can not miss their mark from the almost point blank range. Two bullets enter one after another the right side of the chest of the frail man of his last walk. The third goes into the right side of the Mahatma's abdomen. Bapu's uplifted foot fluttered as the first bullet strikes. As the second and the third hit, he sinks gently to the floor, breathing out his last two words, holy thankfulness. Or supplications. Hey Ram, his voice will speak no more. The crimsoning sunset on the sky witnessed the green smooth lawn around the crumpled victim, his clothes staining red from precious lifeblood. Within minutes of Bapu will be dead. The time is 5:17 p.m. शाम ढल गई. जिंदगी की an epoch has ended. That was the last day of the great life. By a remark, coincidence, the name Namaskar, the final Namaskar and the deed of deliverance from earth offered to the Mahatma came from the hands of Ram. Nathuram Godse was his name. January 30th, 1998. God. आखिरी जो नमस्कार मॉर्टालिटी की तरफ से, ह्यूमैनिटी की तरफ से जो बापू को गए थे, आखिरी प्रणाम नमस्कार, was from Nathuram Godse, was from the Ram of Nathuram, and his last word was Hey Ram. This is what we have. This is what he left. I'm alive in the world. Now imagine children whose father was killed in front of their eyes. Imagine life of that child. Imagine the crowd that gathered that day morning. We just became free. And a child in a free nation whose father was killed. That's what we are. That's in my case, I will like to say in my personal story, I will like to say, anyways, let it be, let it go. Let's pray. Let's not forget. Let's not forget. Let's remember. Let's remember what killed our father. Let's remember how we lived after that. And let's not let it made worthy, let not he didn't die in vain. With lots of love and blessing and power for the heart of every child of my nation who is keeping Bapu's soul alive. His light is still burning through my nation, children of my nation. God bless. God bless.